Hey everyone, welcome in. We are getting kicked off here. We're going to let a few more people make it in and then we will get kicked off. Welcome. Already getting some hellos in. All right. So as we get coming in, if you could just tell us where you are zooming in from. We've got a few people already loading in here. Amazing. We got people from New York, St. Louis, of course, St. Louis. We've got a chat on here. We're going to try to keep up. We're going to try to do our best to keep up with chat throughout the process. But we're going to have so much fun today. South Central Texas. Texas always has to have like a region of a sub-region. It's too big. It's too big. So we got South Central Texas. Virginia coming in. Amazing. So good to see familiar names here. Philadelphia. Hey, Anthony. It's good to see some. I was just telling somebody the other day, I gotta take my kids to Philadelphia. I've been, but I've never taken the kids up to see the Liberty Bell. Amazing, y'all. Virginia Beach, Michigan. Okay. All right. We got some phenomenal people on this call. I'm already seeing some names popping in here. Well, it's good to see everybody. We're going to go ahead and get kicked off. We've got way too much to share with you all. And I for one, am just absolutely excited about what we're going to be presenting today. A little bit about why we are presenting today. This is a bigger release than we've ever done, and a bigger announcement than we've ever done. And so one thing that is really exciting for us as a company that we're excited to share with you is we are coming up on 1 million proposals. So let me get this slide clicked over here to go to the next slide. But we are super excited about having worked with for 11 years now. I like to tell people back when I had hair. We for 11 years we started this thing, and we have just seen so much growth and so much advancement, that we are just really excited about the future of what's happening. And so much of what we've done is from lessons that we have learned from other amazing operators that are just day to day in their business, learning things, growing, and we're not there yet. We're going to be having a big celebration in a couple months. I think it's going to be probably about 8 weeks or so before we hit our millionth proposal. So for those who are trying to win some sort of prize, now's your time to start clicking on that create proposal button very quickly. But we're super excited about it because we've had so many learnings. And one thing that we have seen over the course of the years is that there's so many different pieces of information that people have given us or requests or things that in this call, we're going to be releasing things that we have, from 2016, 2018, things that we started seeing things people that were asking for. And we're excited to be able to announce this. It's going to be game changing for companies out there. And we are so excited. So with that said, I wanted to give you a little bit of information about the foundation of what's next. So on the next slide here, we are going to chat a little bit uh, about what's next in Curate. We have, had so many years, so many platforms that we've worked with and getting feedback. And one thing that has been really tremendous, in the last year, for the past 3 years, we've been building a brand new platform from ground up. Last year, we finished all the migration, and it was a headache to get through it. And thanks for everyone's patience and kindness in that process. But what we're about to show you today comes from all of that work that we put into it, all the time and effort that we put into it. So today we're going to be looking at some things that are changing in the system to better complement the way that people work on a day-to-day basis. For us, we're known all the time as having absolutely beautiful proposals, and I go to all kinds of places, and they're like, "I didn't realize you guys did everything else that you do. We thought you were just a proposal software." And proposals are so powerful, but our mission at Curate is to empower people to easily connect all the pieces of their small business from their proposals, yes, but to all the way to production, all the way to profitability. We want to have that full workflow, and we want to start introducing. At least this is the very first call that's going to be introducing the next chapter of the platform. So with that said, we are going to just get kicked right off. I've got my wonderful co-host Brooklyn here on the call, and my name's Ryan O'Neill. I'm the founder and CEO of Curate. For those who have never connected with me before, Brooklyn is in charge of our product team, so she's going to be showing a few of the updates that we're doing. But we are super excited to get kicked right off. With that said, the very first update that we want to talk to you about is an update to some verbiage that is going to lead to some more exciting things. So we're updating something that you all, for 10 years, we have called things in Curate as events. But we've heard from so many of you that not everything is an event, right? There are things that are like an installation for a holiday party or for a holiday time period might not be an event, or all the way to we've had people that in our system that do Apple TV show kickoffs, right? That they're working for that. Maybe some people might consider that an event, but it wouldn't be traditionally an event. Throughout COVID, we saw this a lot, where a lot of people were shifting to more to more drop offs or no contacts that really weren't servicing a full event. So within Curate, and you'll see it on the next slide here, we are introducing a change. We have introduced a change. This is active in your account right now, where all events are now called projects. So whenever you see different verbiage or different pieces in the system, and it is the same thing, but there's some exciting reasons why we're making this change. I'm going to hand one of those off to Brooklyn in just a second here. But for us, anytime you see the verbiage events, it will now be replaced with projects. Now, if you have custom verbiage, you made a custom property and you called it an event, it's going to stay exactly the way that you set that up to be. But one of the reasons we're so excited about this is something that has been many years in the making, and we've had a lot of feedback from customers as we're moving into the next generation of software where things are much more deeply connected. One of the things we're super excited about, I'm not gonna steal bury the lead or steal it from Brooklyn, but Brooklyn, if you want to take over, I'll let you introduce our next piece of functionality.
Yeah, thanks, Ryan. I'm really excited to show everyone. As you can see on the screen, we are introducing an e-commerce tool within the Curate platform. So let me get situated here and I will show this off real quick to everyone and we'll get going with it. But this will be an add-on experience for you. And let me just get my tab situated and then we will be good to go. But this has been something that the team has been working towards. And like I said, we just can't wait to show it to you and so that you can benefit from this feature. So let me reshare. All right, you should be seeing it now.
Yep.
So I am just on your homepage in Curate, and what you can see here is we now are introducing a new folder tab on your navigation screen called e-commerce. And we've built this out to be extremely simple. As Ryan mentioned, as we've grown as a company, we've seen so many different use cases of how folks are using our software. And so it's not always just an event. That's why we shifted to projects. And alongside those projects, we've seen a lot of requests come in for wanting to manage these simplified almost orders or requests. So we've introduced our own e-commerce site here. So I wanted to just kind of start here on how we would set this up. You can see it's very simplified. It previews what the end experience would be as you're building it. So you can see I've already built this out for us, but you can easily go in and add products from your catalog. I can just go here. I can add an item. I would be able to see all of my different products that are available for me to add. It pulls directly into my storefront. So this is all linked back into having the one system managing what this can do for you. It's very simple. Again, you can add your own sections and build it out. So if you want to be a bit more organized of your products and how that presents to your customers, you can go and build that in. So you can see on this particular storefront, I focused it more towards catering, but we have some box lunch specials. We have some maybe party platters, hot plates, things that again aren't necessarily maybe for the budget or the minimum that would require for a full event proposal experience, but you still want to capture, those types of clients. And so, what this looks like live is I can just easily go and I can get my link up here and I can copy this, and then I'm going to go and paste that into my URL. And then from here, this is going to show off the experience from your customer side. So they can see the storefront. If you have a lot of different sections, they can easily jump down and see what those sections are. So if I wanted to go to the bottom, it would shift me down to see those florals. They can easily add to a shopping cart up in the top corner. So let's build an order and I'll show you how this works. So you can see here, maybe I'm prepping for a corporate luncheon and I want to add a few different options to my order. So I would click this little plus button. That's automatically going to add it to my shopping cart. If I was curious and I wanted to kind of see a little bit more, I could click into it and then it expands and it presents it a little bit larger, easier to see. And then I could adjust the quantity. So maybe we have a lot of salad folks on my team. I can add that cart in multiples. I can go in again and just add directly if I just want one. So whatever that might look like on how you'd like to order, you can add it to your cart. It's really simple. It's going to add everything up for you. You can make any last minute adjustments. So if I decide, I want to, maybe take something off of here, I can do so. And then I can proceed to my checkout. It's going to require some of this information here around the customer's name, the email, the date of which they would like this order to be available for. And then they can also submit any special requests. So I'm going to just add this in here really quickly. And I'll show you how this works because it's really quite exciting. So
So
let me
cool.
just add this here. And then it actually creates a project for you. So say we want this for maybe next weekend for the holiday. I'll say I want special instructions. Maybe I want to pick up by 11:30 a.m. on Friday, July 3rd. So I can submit this request. It's again just sending a request to you to review. It can see that it's been sent in, and then what I can do now is I can go back into my actual project list, and then I can see that this has created my project for me. So I can see this here on my project list. I could also see it on my calendar view if you like to work through a calendar view rather than project view. But this is going to preload as a project with those selected items again because they're directly tied from your product catalog. So you can see right here, it just created it exactly how I needed it to be with that exact order. And then I can choose to manage this however I see fit moving forward. If I want to accept this, I can send this on. I can accept payment just like you would a live portal link. So we're really excited as a team to get this rolled out and to get folks using our e-commerce tool. We find a lot of benefit from being able to manage this in-house rather than having to, use other tools and have things live elsewhere. We hear that so often of just people wanting to simplify their tech stack and just have everything live in one place. And that's what this does. You can manage your items directly in your catalog and then present those from an e-commerce store to your clients and then manage it in a way that's familiar to you, like you would your other projects. So we're really excited about this one.
Yeah, super excited. And we're having Brooklyn, we're having a few questions coming in. I'll speak to those. We are going to be doing kind of a founding member of this e-commerce tool. We're going to give you a pretty substantial discount for anyone who is some of the initial people to sign up. As many of you know about how we work at Curate, we always build thin and then we take customer feedback and we figure out how do we optimize it. So we're glad to get into additional details on it. I know we already have a few questions come in, and some already have some phenomenal answers to them. But that's the key thing for us kicking this off. We wanted to release this in a way where we can build it. It's amazingly functional right now and creates a huge need, but also that we could build very quickly in partnership with our customers. So we're excited about that for sure. But thanks. This is phenomenal. Sorry to interrupt, Brooklyn. I just was excited to
No,
answer some
thank
of the
you.
questions.
I can't see the chats right now, so appreciate you fielding the questions. So yes, yeah, this is a really exciting new update that we have. We just launched it. Like Ryan said, we plan to build it thin, which is what you're seeing. It's a very simplified tool that allows you to just easily connect those products and show it off in a storefront. But again, we do plan to have enhancements based off feedback. We want to partner with folks to kind of learn, what exactly are you all looking for in providing an e-commerce tool, and how can we best make this tool fit the needs of your business. So, yeah, we're really excited to get this rolled out and even more excited to get your feedback on it so that we can enhance it. And let's see, I guess the next feature that I wanted to show off is going to be tied to, I can't see the slides right now, Ryan. Should I go into the
Yep.
workflow forms? Okay.
Yes. Well, CRM, I think the bigger subject of CRM, and then I'm excited about workflow forms too.
Okay, yes. CRM. So, some of you all might have discovered this on your own since we've released it pretty recently. But we did want to give you an update on CRM because CRM is a big focus for our team in general, in the coming quarters. And so, something that we've updated here is going to be messaging. And so, let me pull up an event. And so, what you can see here in your messages. If you aren't already using them, highly recommend. They are available here within the slide out of your workroom. And then you can go to messages, and then you can now see that we've converted this messaging into more of an email style to align again with CRM. We do plan to have enhancements to this as well, as Ryan mentioned. We always welcome feedback and would love to hear your thoughts. But here we have a great way to kind of track these messages again, all in one system. So that way your team can see them. You're not, having to go into another separate tool to send messages through Gmail separately, Yahoo, whatever you're using. You can just manage this communication directly within the project. So you can see here, this is more formatted towards an email. But the great thing is I can also send these messages directly from my project, and I can also pull in email templates. So that's another kind of shortcut that if you're not using templates within our system, just a little plug to use those templates because it definitely saves you some time. So I'm going to show that off here. I can just easily add a template. So say we reached out to Rachel, we haven't heard yet. We want to follow up on next steps. I can go ahead and insert this template here. I did have some personalized tokens, which are then, kind of detokenized here so I know what is being sent directly to this client. So you can see here, I have a message to Rachel. It's a follow-up on your event proposal. It's all formatted directly like it would be in my email. Another thing that you can do if you'd like to, you can choose to add the portal link. So I could copy this link here. I could always insert it however you would like to view that. So I could say, see, live portal link below. And then that's all going to be formatted directly into an email that's sent to the customer. So I can just go ahead and send this off. You'll see that it is time stamped, so you can see which date is sent. You can see who it was sent from with the time. And again, it's going to track everything within the project, so extremely helpful for large teams. We hear that often, which is why we decided to build this out, is that, sometimes there's handoffs between team members. Maybe someone's on vacation, it's summertime, people are out. And you want to make sure that the communication is, there's no gaps of, what one team member maybe communicated to the client versus another team member. And so this is all managed directly within your project between the project owner and the client. And then we are very excited for folks to be able to use this as it's a first step for us in really building out our CRM.
Yeah, phenomenal. And the other thing that's so exciting about this, Brooklyn, I've chatted for years with people about this, and we've always had the ability to send an email from our system. But for our top request in our classic, we had this request board where people could put requests. And for something like 6 years, our top request was always, I just need a way to be able to have my email that maybe I still want that email coming to me. I still want to get access because I like to file. I'm somebody, I've got a ton of folders in my inbox. I like to file them. But having that all in that central kind of like industry standard approach approach of CRM really makes things so much simpler. So this has been many, many years in progress, and it's been super excited to be able to see this come to life. If you have historically used our share tool, you'll still have access to that for a period of time. At some point, we are flipping and moving everything into being a full CRM that functions. So please experiment with this before we do the full rollout. But it's completely rolled out for customers who want to use it. So it's phenomenal, Brooklyn. The legwork on this, the CRM that's in this, because we've had people who have for so many years asked for that.
Yes, yeah, we're really looking forward for everyone to adapt it and use it. Like Ryan said, this has been a long time coming of being able to build this out. You have, of course, been able to share emails, but this really captures it and keeps everyone aligned on your team of what's been communicated. So, again, if you're looking for it, you can find it in the overview, and then you would hit messages, and then you'd be able to start sending those emails within your project. So, go ahead and give it a try if you haven't already been using it, and we'd love to hear feedback on it. So, and then that kind of ties into another way that we can save time, which would be our workflow forms. This is something that's been just recently released, so brand new. A lot of you all might not have found it yet in the app, but we're excited to show it off. And so this is going to tie again just to speeding up that process, keeping everything aligned, and this is going to be tied to your inquiries. So we're going to jump into the inquiries page where you can then click into forms, and you'll now be able to create what we're calling a workflow form. And the reason it's called a workflow form is because it's automatically going to create a project based off the submission of this form. So there's no more reason to kind of have to manually create. You can still do that because we might have some users that want to, look through and make sure they're fit. But we have so many customers that tell us all the time that they have so many inquiries. They just want the project to create. Maybe there's a specific even team member that would manage these inquiries. And so we've kind of bundled that all into this workflow form here, which now allows you to collect those responses, and then just it'll automatically create the project itself. So that's how you'll find it. It's very familiar and similar to how you would create your forms that are already in your account. But you would just click to create the workflow form. I've already built one out, so I'm going to click in here where you'll see our workflow form that has been built. So from a backend perspective, this is what it's going to look like. Again, you can fill out all the different information. We're speeding up the process by allowing you to select templates. So I know I did a plug with the CRM and the email templates, but really use your templates because this can really speed up processes for you. You can add in your order template, your contract templates, timeline templates, all of these things that you already have set up in the system to just kind of make sure when this project is created, it's created exactly how you would intend for it to be set up. So you're going to be able to add all these templates from the start. You would be able to add in all these different questions as you normally do. One of the most important updates here as well is alongside the templates is the default assignee. So again, we see oftentimes maybe there's different forms for different types of events. So maybe you have a team member that manages your floral inquiries. Maybe you have a team member that manages catering inquiries. Maybe this just needs to go to a salesperson rather than a general employee. So this allows you to select that Curate team member that will automatically be defaulted as the project owner and can kind of take the project from the very beginning. So I've got that set to myself here. So you can see the preview of the form, and then I'm going to click over, and then you'll be able to see this form has been almost all the way filled out. I'm going to just continue to collect the information here. And then we're going to be able to set this up, and you can see just how easy it is to submit this form and then be able to have the project be created. So we have here Emily Carter submission. We have some information around this. I'm going to just grab a few pictures that I have on my computer. So I have some inspiration there. I'm going to go ahead and submit this. The form has been submitted. I can go back in. You'll still be able to manage this from your response tab within your inquiries, so you can see here, but it's going to just show you that it's been auto created. So you can still manage how you normally would if you enjoy looking through what's been submitted recently. It'll still come in this way. But really, the main showstopper here is that this has been created exactly how I wanted it. So I can find this project here. It'll also alert you. I don't have my email pulled up, but it will send you an email notification. So I would receive an alert that says I've been assigned to this project so that there's no gaps and that this has been automatically created for you. That email will go to whoever is assigned as the default owner. But this is going to be created here. We can see I had some of those different templates plugged in. So you can see I have my order sections built in. I have my timeline that I added here. This is all ready to go for me to manage. And then I can move forward with this project as needed. But it automatically created it for me just as I needed it to. So it just reduces a lot of steps there for you as you are managing all these inquiries. And we love to hear that you're getting so many inquiries with our forms. And this just speeds up the process of getting those contracts signed and deposits received.
That's amazing. And I'll answer a few of the questions here. Let me see if I can share my screen as well, Brooklyn. But
Sure, I
uh,
can stop sharing if that's helpful.
yeah. One of the, and here's where it gets really cool, y'all. Everybody knows on this call, if you've ever chatted with me, that I love the Lego concept. Like, hey, how do we pull these together? When you think about our messages, our CRM messages that we just released, in addition to our workflow forms, what we're doing is we're completing that thought. We're hearing from so many customers. To Brooklyn's point, we're talking to customers right now. There's some phenomenal people that of venues and caterers and florists who are there. One person I talked to the other day said they literally get 1,000 inquiries a month that comes in. That's a lot of information to have flow through, right? And so the question is, if we can automate and save them time, how much can we save time for every single one of our customers that are out there? And so using workflow forms, that actually integrates and automatically sets up that project so that communication from the very first time you're sending it can be tied directly to the project that it's associated with. So we have so many people that are coming from more generic CRM tools that really are built for photographers and for kind of for everyone. Like, plumbers are on them. They're coming from everyone, but they're really good at that communication part with workflow tool forms that actually adds it. So I want to answer a couple questions that people have had about it. Someone asked about the proposal links. No, the proposal links stay the same. Everyone loves the proposal links. So those stay the same. You still have access to those. When we say talk about that share tool, that's specifically the old way we did things of sending an email, but not really being able to track the responses to that and not keeping that central communication. And so you actually will be able to see messages that actually come back in from clients. This for years, people have asked for this. I want to see my client's information that comes back in. So if you're sending using that and that client responds to that email, not only do you get a copy of it, but it comes all the way back in, and it can start all the way from this workflow of forms. So very excited about it. Thank you, Brooklyn, for showing us through those. And if you thought we were done, we're not yet, because we've got some other really exciting things. One thing we wanted to introduce is something called configurable gratuity. If you're a Curate Pro, and a few of you are, you've probably already found this functionality in here, but it's going to simplify things so much. So you've got the ability inside of Curate to be able to have, in conjunction with Curate Payments, if you're set up on our Curate Payments, we have a gratuity tool built out here. So this automatically you can toggle this on for the very last payment. You can be able to have different percentages that are in here. But to be honest, on this call, I've already seen people chatting in that have kind of the whole spectrum. Some of you are just a venue only. You don't really do the catering. You don't really do the florals. I've seen some florists on here who focus on design. The kind of gratuity is going to be different from company to company. So what we've done is we've allowed you inside of your settings, inside of your gratuity, to be able to customize the gratuity options that best fits your location and the industry they're at. So this makes it so simple. And it's something where you can be able to define what are the percentages that you want to be built out in here. So this is really important because obviously on the back end side of things, with the way that we built Curate Payments, we have really had more of an industry view, like a custom industry view versus like Stripe, which is kind of more of a generic as setup. We've been able to tailor Curate Payments to be a lot closer to how this industry works. So you can be able to customize this. For some industries, you might have 2, 5, and 7% right here, right? Because again, maybe it's a location. A lot of times, if you're outside of the United States and you're still wanting to give this option, but the tipping culture is just different in other places, you have that option to be able to make sure that you're customizing what you want this experience to look like for your customers. So that's super exciting. Being able to have that configurable ability to be able to utilize that. So that is only available. I did see a question come in that is only available within that Curate Payments. The way that I always explain Curate Payments is really Curate Payments is built tailored a lot more around the industry. So there's a lot of things we can do in the back end that are a lot more nuanced in how this industry works than the standard kind of run of the mill Stripe integration that's built in. The next thing I want to introduce is again something that all of my numbers nerds out there like myself who love accounting have been asking for many, many years. Is we are going to be launching. Let me actually take a step back. This configurable gratuity, this is available today in your account. So you can actually go in your account today if you're on Curate Payments, and you can be able to get that set up. If you have questions about Curate Payments, feel free to reach out to our chat. We're glad to answer any questions. QuickBooks integration. This is something that we are looking, and at the end of this call, we're going to have a link for those who would like to request early access to this. We've got a new version of our QuickBooks integration that's coming out. So a big thing that we've heard from so many people is they want better control of the way that product codes within Curate tie together within product codes that are in QuickBooks. Just a simpler way to be able to make sure you're lining stuff up and pulling the insights that you need. We have a brand new QuickBooks integration coming out that releases that. I showed it to somebody a couple of weeks ago. I got them set up on the new, and they literally squealed with joy. They're like, "This is perfect. It's exactly what I was needing for getting their data over." So they were a brand new customer. So it's a little simpler for them because they were just setting up their QuickBooks for the first time. I just talked to a customer out of Arizona yesterday. They said, "We have looked all over the industry and we've never found a QuickBooks integration that works as well as yours does." So it's exciting to be able to hear that feedback coming in, because now you have that ability to tie together the product type to a product code in QuickBooks. So when those items get migrated over, the codes will be available. Now, one key note about this is not available in version 1. So if you're using QuickBooks today, it's going to keep working the way you expect it to. You aren't going to get any magic surprises. Once we do a migration, then it'll manage that, and it'll kind of still work flawlessly. But if you are interested in this integration, we're going to have a form at the end of this call where you can be one of the first people who are on this and who can get moved to this. So it's super exciting that we can be able to automate this process for you all. Next thing, and this is we're getting toward the end of the call here, but something that I'm super excited about. I always talk about AI, and I always put an asterisk next. It's never just AI. It's always AI then an asterisk for me. AI, I always tell people, has a lot of problems we already know about, and AI has plenty more that we don't even know about yet. So I always put that asterisk on there. I am excited about possibilities with AI, and I'm equally nervous about the future of where AI is going. But that said, we have had so many customers who said, "Hey, I like AI how it is today. I might not like how it is 20 years from now, but I like AI how it is today, where it basically is an algorithm that's automating my work for me." And so for us, we have been spending a lot of time working with customers about how to roll out something that is going to be dynamic and can automate a lot of the stuff that's in their brain and put it on paper. So we rolled out within Curate a brand new AI tool. We haven't found a fun, kitschy name for it, so feel free to put your suggestions in. If we should, everybody's naming their AI something nowadays, so whatever. But for us, we have found, and we're going to be rolling this out over the next quarter, that there's a lot of opportunities within the current way you're using Curate to automate your work. And so, for an example, on our side, we're going to be rolling this out into every account's going to have access to this. We are going to be introducing business level subscriptions for those who are looking to optimize dramatically with their company with AI. But for us, we're going to be introducing this for every account to experiment with, for already included. I almost said free of charge, but already included. I got to make sure I say that right. Already included inside of your subscription. There's going to be a level of it for you to experiment and ask, "Hey, what can AI do for my business?" So, for example, I can be inside of a new inquiry that came in here. Let me just hop into this particular one, and I can ask. I have this AI assistant. I'll just do it in real life. I'm just going to grab this particular inquiry right here, and I'm going to click on this little button right here. So you all in the next couple days, you're going to see this button that will pop up inside of your account if you don't already have access to it. That's going to be an AI assist tool. And you're going to have the ability to say, hey, I just got this inquiry come in. Can you help me write a response to this inquiry? Right. And so I'm going to be able to paste this information in here. I'm going to click to generate. Now, right now, we're powered by ChatGPT. We are going to be doing a lot of work on the back end of this to actually automate and find the best model for the kind of work that you're doing. There's so many different AI tools that are out there. But what this has done, it's very quickly, it's created a response to this particular customer's. So you have that ability in here to be able to see, okay, great, I can see exactly what's happening in here, and I can go and I can send an email directly to this customer from here. So it takes a lot of that legwork out and it automates it. Now, that's just the first level of this. You know, we are rolling out more and more functionality, and this is a learning point for us at Curate as well. But we're investing a lot of time and effort to make sure that we're automating the work you're having to do on a daily basis to actually be able to do things to allow AI, if you ask it to create a project for you. We've got one particular customer that I'm super excited for because we're going to be saving them so much time. They get a menu selection from their customers. They have a particular workflow where they want to send a PDF and let them have menu selections for their customers, and the customer fills it out. And for that customer, what we're working on right now, and this is kind of like opening the door, letting you all see in the future of where we're going in the next few weeks with this, is they want to upload that PDF and allow AI to look at the selections, to grab the products from their library, those menu selections, and automatically set them up inside of that order. And when I told this particular customer, they're out of LA. I said, "Hey, here's what we're going to be doing for you." He said, "What's my team going to do if we automate all their work?" I said, "They're going to be able to focus on their jobs and give the customer a better experience versus being a manual button presser, right? And moving stuff around and feeling like they're not doing the best that they can and bringing the best that they can to their company." So for you all, we're super excited about this because inside of our system, we're going to be rolling this out. And over the next 3 months, next 6 months, this is really one of the number one focuses we have at Curate is to ask, how can we automate a lot of these mundane tasks that you know how to do in your head, but is a lot of times hard to hand off? How do we create systems to do that? So not only that, we have not only are we introducing this, and this is going to be available in your account in the next couple of days, so keep an eye out for it immediately. We are introducing something called Curate Skills. And this is, without going into too deep of an education session, this is the future of how you'll be using AI in your business. So you can see right here, what a skill is. A skill is basically a plain text file. It's kind of like a prompt, if for those who are familiar with AI. It's a prompt, but it's a saved prompt that you've done work on and that sounds like you. So for example, I'm going to come back to this same Rachel Tomlin inquiry that just came in, but I'm going to close out of this and I'm going to open up a new chat session. But on my side, there's a lot of considerations that I want to do before I respond to Rachel, maybe a lot of nuance. So I'm going to build a skill and I'm going to come in here into my templates and I'm going to go look into my skills right here. And I'm going to look at this initial response template. And all that this is, it's just a prompt that we've taken a lot of time and effort for adding context, adding rules for our company, how we think about this. All of this is built into a skill. So and it's super easy to do. You can literally do it inside Curate's AI tool. You can do it in ChatGPT. I like Claude a lot. You can be able to build this prompt. This can do everything from like, hey, here's what I want the subject line to sound like, to all the way to red flags. Hey, surface these at the end if something happens. Don't mention these in the email themselves, but kind of surface this in the end. And this is where it gets really powerful, y'all, because we can take that exact same situation that we just did with Rachel Tomlin. We could take all of this text that she put in, but we can attach this skill. And we can go to the initial response template and post this. And now it's going to repost this, but it can reflect things like our company voice. this sound like us? When we're responding to somebody, it has the ability to be able to have, again, those red flags or any context that always sits up in your head, but you need to make sure you're building this into your overall systems. So we are super excited to do this. And the way that we work within Curate is we just get feedback from customers. So with AI, what we have to do, and I'll just again share with you all how we think about the problem. We have to slowly let customers to be able to find which pieces of the AI they want to automate for them. So for us, it's just one piece at a time. As we get feedback from customers, we might have a customer say, "I think I've seen this in a feedback and in one of the comments in here. Hey, I would love it if the AI could just access this inquiry right away." That's amazing. We need that feedback from you so we can know. One of the things we've loved about Curate is how comprehensive of a tool we have. There's so many different little pieces in Curate, and we need your feedback understanding what areas can AI help automate faster. So that we're super excited about that because that is going to make such an impact for customers, and it's going to give you the ability to be a part of this process of automating again, the goal is let's automate all this mundane work that you're having to do time and time again, description rewrites or changes to particular things that would be nice to have automated in an AI workflow. Yeah, so great question around that. Around, hey, what's the thoughts behind copying and pasting versus having access to it? All of that's on its way, but we lean on our customers for giving us that feedback of what to prioritize to help speed up for them first. The last thing I want to talk about today before we get into some forms for you all is we're introducing something called the partnership plan. In the future, this could be called something like our sales core plan, but the partnership plan is something that we have gotten so much feedback from customers on, and we've actually done some trials in the last few months and saw a lot of success in it. Because we build so quickly and because we're always investing way more money than I like to admit back into the product to try to build new things, build things like the e-commerce tool. It's a brand new tool. It's going to have its own subscription included in that. So you can use that as an add-on. Or what the partnership plan does, it takes a lot of these core tools that people are using for add-ons, extra users, bookable spaces, all of those core tools, and it builds it into one partnership plan. And so this is something that's priced a little bit higher than like the core plans would be, like the growth plan would be. But it's something where you would have all of that would come inclusive. So for the partnership plan, as an example, today, not an hour ago, I had someone who signed up for a partnership plan, phenomenal company out of Michigan that's really killing it. They just signed up on the partnership plan. And today, they have access to our e-commerce tool, even though they're an hour into it. They didn't have to pay anything extra for the e-commerce tool or for additional users that are coming in. So for us, if this is something you're interested in, we're just rolling it out because we want to find ways really to let people kick the doors off our program, and it scales up and down with them. We've got customers that are doing hundreds of millions of dollars in our systems, and we've got customers that are doing hundreds of thousands of dollars in our systems. So our partnership plans actually scale with where you're at as a company. And so if it's something that you're like, you know what, I really would like access to all of the tools that Curate has without having to pay every time I want to add an extra user or something like that, our partnership plan is a phenomenal thing that we've seen a lot of success over the last few months for customers, just really reducing the headache of that's involved with some of this. So it definitely scales up and down based on the size of the companies, and that's something we're glad to share information with you on as we work through the process. So all that said, what to do next? We're going to be posting a link in the chat for you all right now, but this is going to be a link for a form that you can fill out if you're interested in finding out more information on this. It has a few of the products, so if you're interested in that QuickBooks, that ability from QuickBooks to very quickly be able to integrate the product codes, and that's an important thing to you. On this form, you can select you'd be interested in being a part of the rollout of that. If you're interested in adding the e-commerce tool, the first 20 people who sign up for the e-commerce tool, we're going to be giving 50% off the price of the tool, just because we're going to be leaning on your feedback. And we actually want to have you as a part of a product feedback for that e-commerce. It's going to be a 4-session or so process over the course of the next few months for you to meet with our team, give us feedback on what we can improve on that e-commerce tool. So this form is the way that you can be one of the first people who has access to that, and be within one of those first 20 people that are in there as well. So, and then partnership plan as well. If you're interested in saying, hey, what's the partnership plan? What does that look like for our company? We're glad to be able to set up a time to chat with you about what that would look like. And again, how you can use all the tools we talked about on this call and more than there. So thanks so much for all the feedback we've had over the last million proposals or so. That said, this leads directly to the last thing we're excited about, and you do not want to miss this webinar. This is in a couple months. This is right when the math says we should be at our millionth proposal. So we'll see if we're after or before. But on August the 25th, we have another huge announcement. If you like the stuff we talked about today and some of the enhancements that are already in your account, you're going to flip about some of the stuff that we announce on this next webinar. So you're going to be really excited about it. There's some really advanced things that we're bringing to companies just like yours. So we'd love to have you. We're going to be posting that link in here as well, the millionth proposal. So we have two links in here. One is kind of an action form for requesting more information on some of the stuff we've talked to you about today, being one of the first 20 people on that e-commerce tool to get the discount and be able to give that feedback. But then also this link is for our webinars link, where you can be able to sign up for our millionth proposal celebration and a big update on the future of Curate and some things that are going to be happening that are still under wraps, but we're really excited to be able to share with you. So all that said, I just want to say thank you to every person on this call. I know we have a few people on here who aren't customers currently. We got a lot of people who are customers currently. I just want to say thank you for all the feedback you've given us. We're going to continue to implement that feedback. And our goal and vision is really to empower people to easily connect all the pieces of their small business. And we're doing that in and out every single day for you all. Thanks for the feedback. Feel free to reach out to our chat or our team if you have any additional questions or want any additional information about this. And we'll be sending out some updates from here as well. All right. Thanks so much.
Thanks, everyone.